Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do initial impressions review for Strike VR, a bullet hell shoot 'em up. This game just released on the Steam store September 3rd, 2020 for the HTC Vive, Valve Index, and the Oculus Rift. It normally retails for $14.99. I got a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game, and this is quite the challenging bullet hell shoot 'em up. I did have difficulty playing this on normal difficulty, so I had to go to easy mode, and I'm sorry for that. I tried getting this on normal. I was just dying too much on normal, so I went to easy, and I spent about 2 hours in the game. I almost beat it on easy, so I got all the way to the third stage and level 4 on the third stage. So there's 3 total stages and 5 levels for each stage, along with, I guess, a bonus stage as well. I haven't gotten that far, so I can't really say what that is. And there are several boss fights along the way. And even on easy mode, this is quite challenging. At least I found it challenging. So it's a bullet hell shoot 'em up, similar to Zortex, but obviously you're not holding a ship in your hand. So you're not actually just moving your hands around. You're the ship, so you're moving your entire body. You're having to dodge left and right, and you just got to keep your head on a swivel while firing at enemies. You get all kinds of power-ups, you get extra lives, and once you get some power-ups, you definitely get more powerful, and it's just easier to bring down enemies. And then you just got to manage your special skills, your ultimates, while you're dodging left and right, keeping your head on a swivel, trying not to die, and trying to kill as many enemies as possible. This is quite challenging, and I did have fun with this game, but it definitely won't be for everyone given the difficulty level. I can say that after spending 2 hours in this game, I did have a lot of sweat all over my headset. Yeah, I got quite the workout as well. So you do need a little bit more than just standing room to play this game. I would say to comfortably play this game, you need to be able to take a step to the right and a step to the left, and that'll just make dodging a whole lot easier in this game. There are certain projectiles that you can only dodge. There are several projectiles that you can also deflect, so as you see here, I am using swords to deflect the red projectiles, and you can either dodge or deflect those. If you deflect them, you can damage enemy ships. However, there's other projectiles and other dangers that you have to simply dodge. There is no other option for that. So again, you have to keep your head on a swivel, have to know when to dodge, when to deflect. You can't deflect too much because your sword ability is limited. And then you also have limited special abilities and limited ultimate abilities, and you just have to keep track of all of those while also keeping track of all the enemy ships. You want to destroy them as fast as possible, because if you leave them lingering out there, what's going to happen is you're going to have too many projectiles on screen, and that's dangerous because then it becomes even that much harder to dodge, to avoid damage, and you just can't rely on using your deflectability too much because it is on a timer. There's also upgrades you can get, and you definitely feel a lot more powerful once you get some of those upgrades. Before you get those upgrades, it can be a little bit slow to kill the enemy ships, but once you get the upgrades, it just becomes a whole lot easier, and then it just becomes a matter of just avoiding damage. Obviously, it's better if you aim, but with some of the upgrades, they do some automatic fire, so you're not having to aim as accurately as before, and you can devote more time just to dodging bullets or deflecting and just avoiding dangers and trying to survive. Now, there are several boss fights, and I did enjoy them. I didn't notice too much difference in strategy. There were some bosses that did some different things, so there were some different dangers to keep track of, but the strategy pretty much stayed the same. It didn't really change up too much. Now, this game is running on the Unity engine, and on my 1060 GTX, it was running at usually 90 frames per second, although I did have some drops and some stutters. In retrospect, I would have probably played this game on a lower graphical setting because I had it on the highest graphical setting, again, because it was running at 90 frames per second, but when there are lots of enemies on screen, lots of explosions, and lots of projectiles, I did have some stutters, and it did affect the gameplay because then I died because of those stutters. This is one of those games where you can't afford a stutter. One stutter probably means you're going to die, especially with so much dangerous stuff all around you. So I do recommend on a 1060 GTX probably lowering it to maybe the fastest setting versus the good graphical setting. Overall, I did have a lot of fun with this game, but it is quite simple, but it is quite challenging as well. And like I mentioned, it's a good physical challenge, not just a mental one. I kind of wish it had a bit more depth, though. So, yeah, it's fun getting the upgrades. There's different types of enemies, but the gameplay loop really didn't change all that much. It was just more of, you're dodging more as it gets more difficult and you're having to keep track of more projectiles on screen, but the core gameplay loop didn't change enough for me. So I had fun, but I also think there's some improvements that could be made to this game. I'd like to see more levels, more stages, more depth to this game, just some more variety added to the gameplay loop. I think that would have definitely made this game more fun if they could have found a way just to add a bit more depth to it, because it does get a little repetitive. Even though you're seeing different skins and stuff gets faster and it gets harder, it never really adds new elements to the gameplay. Also, I would like to see the ability to be able to continue from where you last died. So the way this game works, if you have basically 3 lives, although you can get some bonus lives, and once you die, you basically have to start the stage all over again. So again, there's only 3 stages, and there's 5 levels for each stage. If you die during one of the levels completely, in other words, all your lives are lost, that's it. You have to restart all the way from level 1 all the way back to finish level 5 of that stage. So on top of that, they probably need to add more levels just to make that something sustainable, because right now the biggest time sink will be just because it is pretty difficult, especially playing this on normal. So you will be playing this quite a bit just to beat the challenge, but it's not because there's a lot of gameplay content. It's just that you do have that artificial difficulty of not being able to continue where you died. Once you lose all your lives, you have to start all over from square one within that stage. So there's only 3 stages, 5 levels for each stage, so there's not really a whole lot of content. It's just that the content's difficult, so you're going to be repeating a lot of it. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Zoculus Rift Reviews. This is my initial impressions review. If you liked it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.